Phoenix One, and that's kind of what came through here. Liquid still in control of third place right now, hoping to keep this match going well for themselves. Phoenix One still have a lot of room to go if they want to get themselves out of where they currently sit, which is 9th. Early ban silver making sense. By the way, we're not seeing the blue side bans. There we go. It was Malzahar and Sivir. Now they're up in that one, so we're good. So far, some fairly typical bans on either side. But yeah, we'll see if Vladimir and Ryze are allowed from before.
I think Shen may be banned here from TL, or they have the intent to first pick it. Because you know Zig will take that right off the bat. And then you pretty much have to play Trundle into it, which is still not like an amazing matchup.
For Shen?
For Trundle, because you don't feel fantastic about it either. Karma, okay. Yeah, that is something that TL actually picked for themselves last game.
So they're banning out the bot lane they picked for themselves. They don't want to give Phoenix One the chance to play it. Instead, Liquid have other ideas in mind for what they're trading back and forth. The Vlad and Ryze left up yet again. They'll probably go 1 for 1 on those. The question is, what do you pick up alongside them, or do you even grab it early on because you know you can trade them back and forth? Instead, Liquid looking for the highest priority, and that's, in their mind, Braum right now. And the funny thing is, over in Korea and China, actually, Alistar is still very popular, or at least reasonably popular, but we're really not seeing many melee supports over in North America. Braum is kind of the only one.
Yeah, we see some Alistar.
A little bit.
Saw one in the previous set as well.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm underrating that a little bit.
No, it's true, though, because in terms of... we saw this large surge of range supports, like Nami and stuff like that.
Right.
And then when range supports got buffed from their itemization, everybody went back to tank supports. Because they technically did get tankier from their Face the Mountain item, now having HP per level on it.
Well, it's execute per level.
Oh, yeah,
so your gold income is better, which does actually
true.
turn into eventual stats. Like, there's so many times where supports just don't get the income because people are wave clearing too fast. And to be fair, that is actually a very real buff to supports when you're able to earn 200 gold every minute. But yeah, look at this. Talking about tank supports, Shen and the Taric coming through. For those who missed some of the Korean games, we actually got to see Rox Tigers play 2 Taric games from Gorilla. And they 2-0'd with that champion. Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, it was banned against a lot of teams in the LCK when it first came out. And then it continued to get banned even after the nerfs for a bit. But it fell off and fell through the cracks. But I want to see what Gate's able to do with this champion. And Zig, once again, on Shen. Great champion for him. Allows him to assist his team and continue split pushing and applying pressure like he was before.
All right, well, on this side of the fence, nothing too surprising out of Liquid. I'm sure they're happy they were able to take Vladimir's second round, but they chose to take Braum first because they felt it to be a higher priority, and looks like their instincts worked out pretty well.
Yeah, Jhin, Braum as well. So Jhin gets to keep his range against the Taric. If he does get caught out, it's a little bit more difficult for him to reach him, though.
Yeah. Part of the reason I think Phoenix One also grabbed Shen so early is they left up the Olaf ban. Because they banned Olaf in Game 1, and then we know Olaf Shen is a very favorite, very good combo from Liquid, and so trying to get rid of that before it happens, I think that's part of the reason they grabbed the early Shen. Of course, that champion's very good in its own right, so there's kind of dual duty there. But
Zig was one of the first adopters of it, too.
And that's very true. So maybe it's more so that, but I always like thinking about team's favorite champion combos and playing around those.
We always take
very important.
You always take contested things.
You definitely want to. In the first couple of rounds, you should take things that are contested to make sure you can get the good ones and they don't get the favorite strategies. Ryze and now the Hecarim as well. So Phoenix One actually showing their, I guess actually at this point, jungler now as well. Russian picked that one up as Rek'Sai off the table, and it looked like Liquid weren't trying to rush anything down, so I can see that Gragas released before.
And the Hecarim was typically banned against Inori in the previous sets because it's just their go button. He's their the shot caller is just saying, hey, go in. And now that they have Hecarim Shen and they have Taric, like this becomes so easy for you to pull off because you just team fight. You jump in, you have the Stand United, you even could get a Taric ultimate on top of it, which would probably hit the Shen too.
The chances are very, very high it's going to work out that way. So this could be very interesting. Definitely excited to see what Phoenix One can do with this composition. The 5-on-5s might look really good. And now, the counter pick to Shen. The most likely one we've been seeing is Gangplank. Liquid We'll probably bring in a second tank alongside this one. Gragas makes a lot of sense if it's the case. Rumble, another good champion into that one. And no, they actually are going to go for the Olaf they had from before, but Rumble will be the top lane pickup. Interesting situation here. Rumble Olaf can definitely chase champions down quite well. As the final pickup for Phoenix One is Tristana.
And Mash played this previously, went for the turret destruction build. Went for Yomu's Ghostblade, Runan's into, I believe it was then the IE.
Yeah, IE third makes the most sense if that was that's what I would have done. I don't remember what he did, but I know it was Yomu's Hurricane at the start.
Yeah, it was Yomu's and Hurricane. Gave him some armor penetration.
And yeah, it's going to make him, of course, continually the Demolitionist, so we'll see what he goes for this game, if it changes up any. But Phoenix One, a great, hard, engaged team, but Liquid actually have some really good skirmish potential, right? Fabi and Matt bringing in a whole lot of utility, and I personally love Jhin Rumble. Their ultimates have exceptionally long range. They're pretty hard to miss. If one tags, the other one's going to land for sure. You are basically perma-slowed, and it will almost guarantee the rest of the team can follow up and catch that person out. So Phoenix One are very rarely, if ever, going to be safe if within a screen of half of Liquid's lineup. So some scary things definitely afoot here. It's going to be a fun one. Going into game 2 this one, Liquid taking on Phoenix One. If you want to let us know who's going to win this one in your mind, tweet hashtag TL win or hashtag P1 win. For which squad's going to be taking this one home. But Liquid, they took the first game. It was closer than expected. So Phoenix One are playing Liquid close. But as Energy already won their earlier match today, Phoenix One has a lot of work to go and accomplish. If they want to get out of 9th, they would have to take this game over Liquid to start that road early. And here we go.
Yep, force that game 3.
Yep.
And start getting up there. And actually, this is the first Tarek game in North America this
I was pretty sure. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing him, but...
Yeah, he came out like right before MSI, and then the question was he going to be enabled or not? And nope.
And he was overpowered.
Up. So looks like he's the first one in North America.
Yeah, and we got the first
Malzahar
yesterday, and then he's been banned ever since.
So too good.
Yep. It's always funny seeing when teams sort of start to realize his jam, because Malzahar, I believe, has been in his current state for several patches now, and it just took some time for players to learn the champion and figure out they wanted to play it. And that's always been an interesting difficulty for pro players, is you only have so much practice time. Right? You play 6 to 9 scrims a day, roughly. Hold on, Dardock actually going to find the Nori. And now the question is, yep, there's the first Ghost pops. No, Nori might have to use his own as well. He's going to get help from Zig. They're going to maybe turn it back around. A taunt comes in, into the layered stuns, and Dardock bit off more than he could chew. Taken down, and a Nori baited him the whole time.
Incredibly aggressive there from Dardock. Gives over the kill.
So.
Oh, yeah. And that went over to Mash. Inori checks the bush. Starts running through. Doesn't have vision. And then gets taunted. So Zig starts E.
Mash gets the rocket jump in.
And the rocket jump, yeah. So, yeah, pretty sure you want a lane swap now.
Pretty sure that's likely. So Mash has 400 gold, but never found time to go home. So the gold doesn't mean anything right now. It only matters on the first recall. But the nice thing for Tristana, if he's going for the Yomu's build, it's very easy to fit 400 gold into that one. Just get an extra longsword or get a combined. So he is easily going to find the payment for that. Yeah, if you're going to Phoenix trading blows,
his first build is pretty much all daggers and all longsword.
Yeah.
His first 2 items.
Yeah, all the combines are cheap except for Yomu's itself, and all the pieces are 400 gold or less. So very, very easy to combine this up. Dardock missing Ghost doesn't mean terribly too much, though. As he runs out of mana, picks up the final axe, knocks down the red buff, and continues on his merry way.
Yeah, Zig doesn't have any way to deal damage to these creeps. Wardlow hits the level 2 early, and I mean, it's a Shen that has E, so...
Right, yeah. Taunt for his Shen.
Good luck even last hitting these minions because you don't have Q.
Feels bad, man. Nice. I always like seeing when AD carries know that combo. E, then auto attack the caster minion once, as long as it's below auto attack damage to be killed. You immediately blow it up for not only the explosive charge active, but also the passive damage. And you just get a solid, 120 damage on the nearby enemy champions for the trade. Good on Mash to know it. Not surprised, of course, a player of his caliber does.
Yeah, especially somebody that's as into farming as he is.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Gotta know all those tricks.
Mash plays AD carry like I do. He split pushes and takes farm 30 minutes into the game when no one else really does.
And then you just, if you're allowed to do it, you just show up and you're this gigantic beast. And
you kill turrets in 2 seconds. They have to react to you.
Everybody get behind me.
And he's got a Shen on his team, so it's going to be easy for Mash to succeed here. Fabi continues to knock minions down. So far, though, a temporary and small minion farm advantage for Phoenix 1.
Jungler's looking topside right now. Ghost will be back up for both Inori and Dardoch.
And they're both around. Inori did not get spotted by any wards, and they don't know if Dardoch is here or not. Dardoch pings, he's going over towards the scuttle. Gate getting stunned up, taking some damage. Only deals 100, though, from that empowered crit from Fabi. Tarek's still a pretty high armor champion, and now they do find themselves. And Inori actually does not want to be part of this fight. Yep. He knows that Dardoch can out-duel him.
Ended up smiting the Scuttle Crab away. Dardoch puts down his ward and starts putting some pressure on mid, so causing Pyrion to back up a bit. It's Phoenix Zone.
Yeah, a nice advantage for Inori is he's able to actually weave in his first recall for a fast Hunter's Potion. Yeah, so he's actually got immense sustain in this early round.
Yeah, the first clear for Hecarim is really rough. Yeah. You end up with like no mana and no HP, and you have to kind of sit around and wait for your buffs to tick, give you both those back.
Right.
Or you go do like a Scuttle Crab or something that don't want to use E on it to make it more vulnerable if it takes mana and stuff. So it's a kind of an awkward situation to be in, but I do like the Hunter's Potion, the investment there.
Ooh, a stun on the map. They're going to get the full explosive charge off on him as well, and it even tags Fabi, so they get the bonus on that trade. Dardoch once again trying to push Inori around, but Inori's actually up half a level right now, so Dardoch, though he's trying to punish, isn't getting a lot done. Fabi gets stunned up, a nice little dazzle there, and Matt yet again runs away. Phoenix 1 actually getting the better of this 2-1-2 matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they're 600 gold up now from First Blood. And
500 of it, yeah.
Little bit of that LCS. Also, the junglers, it's the Scuttle Crabs. Inori's gotten both of them.
Yeah, and I think Inori would now win a duel against Dardoch because I think red buff is probably better than blue buff at this stage. The true damage, kind of nice. Dardoch has infinite mana anyway, who even cares? But either way, the level lead not going to mean anything as Dardoch walks away and goes back towards his Krugs. Another recall for Inori, his second time back to base before Dardoch's even done it once. And even still is farming harder. Yeah, cooldown boots early, interesting. So,
yep, get a really low cooldown Ghost. What is it at right now? 135 seconds, so 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yep. Definitely some quick stuff here. We'll see as it pushes forward what else these teams can do. Phoenix 1 just playing the farm game right now. They are keeping these lanes pressurized as much as they can. Once again, pushing Fabi under the turret, making it harder to last hit. Pyrion doing about as well as he was last time. Phoenix yet again up slightly in farm. Will be up a bit more as his wave pushes in toward him. But Pyrion actually holding a little bit more priority this time. He's actually keeping it near the midpoint. So he will be able to support Inori or someone. Dardoch now looking for the top side, but there's a ward freshly placed, waiting for his entrance. Phoenix 1 should not be in too much danger. They're going to actually look for the turret. Gate has to flash away from the potential route. And that was even before Olaf was really in range. Gate choosing to make sure he didn't die, but now he's flashless. As he waits to reach level 6, he's only 5 1/4, so it will take several waves. It's going to be, I think, about 8 minutes in before he's going to hit that ultimate. Yeah. Mid laners, though, have theirs already. There's top laners as well. Still
a decent delay now on Dardoch's level 6, and Inori's going to have his, so there's going to be a window here where he can gank this bottom lane. He can use his ultimate, he'll have it.
All right, the taun's going to land. A lot of damage on Lorlo. He flashes early, but that's going to mean the easy fear. Why even bother flashing? But he puts the equalizer down. There's a lot of damage here to try to kill off Inori. And look at the punishment he's going to, be able to bring out. Outplays the gank. The 1v2 by Lorlo. Beautifully done.
Lorlo on carry top laners. I love watching him play these champions. And it makes me angry that he was on tanks before.
I thought he was so dead, I was sure of it, but he completely makes the outplay happen. Flashes, and it means that Inori was in turret range and makes it all happen. Beautifully done by the Liquid top laner.
Yeah, Inori, I mean, you have to see that coming with the flash. So usually you go for the ultimate and then you go for the E backwards, but he would have flashed that as well. So it was kind of off a reaction there, and he just got pushed further into the turret.
Yeah, couldn't quite make it all happen right there. So, doesn't turn into any obvious material advantages. Of course, it's a difference in cooldowns, but no significant gold changed hands there. It just wounds that have to be licked as Inori hopes to get his spells back from cooldown. 126-second cooldown on his ultimate as well, so that's going to be up before too terribly long. Pyrion once again trying to find a trade on a Phoenix, but Vladimir able to walk away pretty cleanly as he goes towards Spectre's Cowl. No surprise he's going for the tanky Vladimir build as usual.
Yeah, one of the nerfs to him was you're less rewarded for building tanky.
Yes.
Because he was just building tank and doing so much damage. So less AP off of that, off of his passive.
Yeah. Less ability power from building the health.
Exactly, and it actually ends up being a decent amount of AP that you miss out on. He still has some % HP ratios, though. Yeah. Of his own.
Yes, of course. And, right, the E and the W being the big ones there that actually scale off the health build, and his ratios went up, so when he does get some ability power, it'll feed back in a little. It looks like we have a lane swap coming in here. Zig no longer wants to fight against the Rumble. And so Phoenix One initiating another phase here. They've got Zerker Greaves and the Armor Pen coming out of this Tristana. Similar build here from Fabi.
Well, I think
trying to dive the bot side.
I think the big thing is if you kill Lorlo, this is a Tristana, you'll get some turrets.
Lorlo playing the best he can. He knows he's dead. This is smart by him. He clears away the minion wave first. And then, yes, Phoenix One gives the kill over to Tristana. But this just bought 30 seconds of turret pushing time. He was going to die no matter what. Makes the best of the situation. This will be actually a faster turret kill for Liquid, even though Phoenix One were first in the play.
And Phoenix One are going to say, oh, I guess we can't do that. Let's go get this Drake first.
Very smart.
Then try to get that bottom, because otherwise they would have just been sitting there for 15 seconds. It is going to be a lot of damage that they need to deal to it, though.
Yeah, it'll take a while. Mountain Drake is very tanky, and Inori's actually out of mana, not wearing a blue buff right now, and, well, it will go down. Now they can maybe try to return to the bot side of the map. It ends up being a kill and a Mountain Drake in response for a turret. That's the ultimate trade of resources there, and ends up being actually, I think, fairly close in total value, unless P1 can further push down the bot side of the map, because no one went down to contest that. Everyone was still busy dealing with the top side of the map.
Oh,
Pyrion trying to fight with Phoenix, but he's got the empowered heal. He's going to find himself in range, heals himself back up, and that was an unnecessary Shen ult, but I think out of Zig. He wanted to make sure Pyrion would live, but there was really no threat there.
Yeah, that was interesting, and now they're going to get this bottom turret, equal it up, so ultimately they get a Mountain Drake.
Ultimately up a Drake, up a kill, and the tempo is going to be maybe a bit behind for P1 because Liquid's already down here, and in fact, they even have the chance to make the play, but it looks like that's not going to happen. Zig able to walk back to his empty top lane and recollect the farm. So Phoenix One, yet again actually, finding some really nice plays in the early game. And the story of them improving as a team, I think, is definitely real. Okay, you beat Echo Fox. Okay, you beat Apex, who was slumping. But no. Here's you beating a legitimately top-class North American team.
Energy too.
Doing well, yeah. And even Energy was having a slump, right? Like you could logical way some of these wins and be like, yeah, okay, P1, whatever. But this, even if they're not winning the match right now, they clearly look good against a good team.
I definitely echo that.
Yeah.
Because both early games have been going their way. Yesterday is pretty much the same story. They get gigantic leads.
Absolutely. And in Zig's interview last night I had with him, he said, yeah, we think we can stay in the LCS. He thinks there's even a chance they can try to push towards playoff. Of course, it would be hard, but he's like, we'll stay in the LCS. We're not super worried about relegation. And with the play this good, I think it's quite likely. Drawdock on the chase down towards Pyrion underneath this turret. Here comes Tarek, but he's not there in time. Gate can't save him, but he can turn the rest of the team invincible. Looking for the play here onto Phoenix. He pulls the charge. Will still tag him, and he's actually going to scumbag his jungler. Drawdock goes down to the charge, and now it's time for the chase, but they're running out of health. They've got to be careful. Zig holding the front side, and they don't have the damage they need. The canister bouncing around, doing a bit of damage towards the Nora, but it's only a 1-for-1.
But they saved the turret.
They did, but how much work can they get? Because the health bars are bigger for Liquid. Matt pulls Zagro, a bit dangerous for him.
They have the healing.
And Fabi's afraid.
They have the healing from Gate.
Yeah.
Phoenix does have TP, but he's going to go bottom and try to answer that wave. So ultimately, 1-for-1, almost got Phoenix as well. He had to flash away.
Yeah. Very, very tight right here as the map looks like it's going to reset. And a very, very tight trade of damage and gold and kills back and forth. Phoenix One maintained their 600 gold advantage. Zig in a battle with Lorlo, equal leveled right now, and with the Spectre's Cowl survives it somewhat. I actually wonder if Zig will choose to go for a Wit's End to make the 1v1 matchup better. It seems unlikely, but in terms of items that Shen would buy to be able to fight a Rumble, I mean, it would probably be up there.
It is a double AP comp too, so maybe you would go for it like 6th item.
I heavily doubt it, but if he needs to be able to survive 1v1, that might be the optimal pickup. But that might not be what he's playing for.
Yeah, Rumble's actually a little bit easier to go against now because he goes. It's funny for 2 reasons. Because it's like Proto Belt makes him really hard for squishies, but for people who want to build tanky, he no longer builds like first item haunting guys and things like that.
He's not immediately Leandersing you down.
Yeah, he gets that later on. But
yeah, sure, but not immediately.
Yeah. So if you're a squishy and he can all in you, Proto Belt makes him harder. But
nice flank by
like,
Dardoch.
Yeah. This right here from Gate, he tried.
He got the shield on, he got the heal on, and then he popped the ulti, but the delay was too long.
You know what would have been great right there? A Shen ultimate.
Oh, you're right.
It was down from before when he had used it and it wasn't necessary. And so he had to TP into the fight. He would have arrived earlier, he maybe would have gotten the taunt off, and he would have maybe saved Pyrian in time for the Taric ultimate.
Sure, because Liquid burned through all of their first round of cooldowns. I mean, just the way League of Legends works is most of the damage tends to be front-loaded. And yeah, you're right, that might have bought him enough time to turn that whole thing around, but now here comes the attempt. Phoenix looking for the dive into Pyrian as Honori's actually battling with Dardoch on the side. They're both level 9, and once again goes in for the tackle. Now here comes the teleport, and here comes the Fabi curtain call. Pyrian cannot dodge into these spells, but here comes the invulnerability out of Taric. Dardoch's been picked up, and now the team is not going to take any damage, but no! He snipes off Pyrian. Nicely done by Fabi, and here come the chases out. Mash running out of HP, jumps back over to get back near his team, and he's actually safe for this one. So Dardoch and Pyrian have traded lives. Now the chase on the backside. Phoenix gets stunned up thanks to Taric, and it's the tackle in from Honori, but he can't kill off Lolo, so now he's overextended. Rooted up by Fabi. That's going to be the kill picked up likely if the cooldowns come back in time, but they don't, so Honori is going to survive. Still only 1 for 1. The tower dive, again, just a trade of kills.
Mash runs away from these fights so early. I feel like he can clean up a lot of these fights. He's Tristana, he's got a significant range on his auto attacks, and he just decides to push bottom where there's no turret anymore.
And he had flanked Dardoch or Fabi and then ran out of health.
Yeah, and then he jumps, and then he just runs bottom when there's nothing that can really reach him from that point onward. We'll see it again here. Really well played there. They throw down everything. They avoid it. Ends up getting sniped there and picked up. And then tons of damage comes down, has to jump over. And then he's afraid of Phoenix, but then they put the ward over the wall, and he just keeps walking to the right. Matt's not going to reach you. Phoenix isn't going to reach you. Orlo doesn't have ultimate anymore.
And then Matt could almost be caught right there. But yeah, there's just no Tristana to be had. Yeah. Funny thing is, like, every time I see Mash play, I'm like, I would make all those same choices.
Would you have run like that?
I'd be like, guys, I'm out of health, I'm pushing bottom. Because I'd be like, I'm going to die to Phoenix at some random point in time. I just don't even want to risk it. Like, last game he actually died going back into a fight where, Phoenix flashed on him. So, like, I understand the decision to be like, I'll probably get AoE'd. I'm just going to get the safe advantage. Now, it might have worked out better if he went for the fight. And that's a hard call to make.
Yeah.
But I at least understand the decision. And he has to just weigh those pros and cons. And, and it is, in my mind, at worst, debatable. And maybe it was negative.
Yeah. I completely understand that. And, hindsight is always 20/20, sorry.
It could be 50-20.
It could be 50.
It could be like really good vision in hindsight.
Everything that is 50 feet away is 20.
Great.
See it up close, man. Magnifying glass that. Here comes the TP. It's on the backside here, so Shen.
Ooh, the 3-man fear comes out from Honori. Is that going to be enough time to buy, though? Fabi's running out of health, but Honori gets stunned up, has to run away. Root's going to land, a bit of damage coming across, and that's going to be Dardoch actually picked off on the wings. Nice job by Pyrian, but it's going to be traded back thanks to Vladimir's damage output. So, again, these same champions that got traded in the last fight, once again.
Yeah, great.
3 in a row, actually, those two.
That's true. That's true. They're the two ones being really aggressive and just running straight into the other team's face. Hey, look at the deaths, right? Pyrian's the only one that's even died on P1, but we might see more go down now.
Ooh, Phoenix making the damage happen. Ulti coming in from Gate. It's gonna just barely keep him alive as Lorlo gets taken out by Honori, and here comes Zig to ride in on the front side. Can he get a taunt on a Matt? Looks like the cooldown is not there, nor is the energy, so can't get anything else done. Once again, now Lorlo and Mash trading lives, adding to the roster.
And the only people that have died on TL are 2 members, both
two
Lorlo
best friends.
and Dardoch. You live together, you die together.
Yep. And yeah, P1, their deaths are only on 2 of their players as well, actually.
Yeah.
Their mid laner and AD carry. Now, generally speaking, though, that is P1 losing the more valuable members. Right? Those are the big damage sources on this team, and if they're the ones dying, that means it's good target selection by Liquid.
Yep. this is a good TP, but then I love the exhaust onto Inori. Matt doesn't panic and use it on Zig or even like Mash or anything. And Mash can't get a piece of this fight because he has to jump diagonally. And he actually second-guessed himself there. He walked backwards because he didn't want to jump on the equalizer. And then he jumps forward and still takes a ton of his HP and damage. And it's just really unfortunate that he had to make that decision and kind of hesitated on it. But it was good by Lorlo to put it down in that choke. It wasn't actually optimal, though, because maybe he could have gotten more damage off on the other members, but still a great zoning tool to stop Mash from getting in.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, tightly played game right there. Only 1,000 gold apart. Once again, it's Phoenix 1 with an early game lead. This time they're actually taking Drakes as well. The second Mountain Drake is up right now, and it's looking for the play onto Dardoch. Won't land the stun. He jukes away from it, and now running away from Inori, and he does so successfully. And this Mountain Drake will allow Phoenix 1 to knock the next one down a bit faster than otherwise possible. But this game is still very, very close. Gold fluctuating down to only 600 now. Dardoch getting some ward control. 2 wards. Feels great, man. 60 gold in his pocket. 60 experience to boot. And mid lane priority now for Liquid. Can they get much done with this? Rastana is a pretty good wave for chance, but no Hurricane up, and so a stun on the Matt, but plenty of damage on this turret. Fabi won't do enough with the 4th attack. They don't go for it just yet, but here comes the attempt at a dive. Matt rocket jumps away. Sorry, not Matt, Mash. Similar spelling, my bad. Still does result in that turret going down.
We have Mash, Matt, and Gate.
Yes.
Help.
Yep. A lot of similar sounds. And Huhi vs. Huni last night wasn't easy either.
I had to do that one a couple weeks ago, but still, Inori right to the center.
Looking for the play. Equalizer not hitting a lot of champions. Gate walking to the front, looking for the dazzle. Hits up Lorlo. A lot of damage, and Rumble should be going down, and Nori's going to try to find it. He hasn't gotten him just yet. He's still alive. Finally turns it around, but Fabi gets the return kill. Here comes round 2. Gate flashes behind Pyrian, and Rise will take it up. Keep him alive. Ulti pop, but it's too late. Pyrian. Oh, he survives it. Oh, they picked off Dardoch, but the ulti times out, and now Phoenix is on the hunt, and he wants some kills. Zig gets slowed. Phoenix still on the chase. Can he get out? The Rise, yeah, he's going to be able to get away. Rise is dead. Sorry, the Shen does get out. Another 2 for 2. Inori and Pyrian dropping. Lorlo and Dardoch the same.
And TL going to go straight towards this Mountain Drake. Fabi, he's got some HP, so he'll be able to tank it up, and it's a resourceless mid laner, so Phoenix will be able to actually just get some back here.
Yep.
Pings onto the Baron, as well as the mid turret.
Ooh, this is interesting.
A lot of turrets still up here, though.
I actually like the idea of a Baron rush by P1 because a lot of Liquid are low on resources. They do have the early Mountain Drake. I think that could work theoretically.
So this is just really scrambled here because Inori goes straight after Fabi, who flashes to the right side, which is the best place for him to flash. Gets a large piece of this fight, and then Lorlo gets out, but Phoenix is disrupting the backline. Then he says, okay, just kidding, guys. Run straight back down. I believe he has Storm Raider Surge again, so he's able to just chunk them, run down. Everybody starts chasing him, but they all collapse onto Inori, take him down. So it's already 2 for 1 right off the bat in favor of P1, and then the trade kill comes back in. It's still incredibly close. 200 gold up for P1, 21 minutes in. This is actually insane for them because TL is the team that's supposed to get really large advantages early. Off of Dardoch diving and off of Dardoch making plays. That's just not happening against this squad.
Yeah, definitely true. Liquid is one of the best early game teams, so to do well against them is a great way to show your strength here. But Phoenix 1, all the same, are running out of matches to play so far in this split. The 0-9 start certainly really hurting their aspirations for the postseason. Still not done with the Hurricane yet for Mash. So he does have 3 kills for himself and actually the highest farm
I think he's got
in
the
the game. It's only 300 to combine, so it wouldn't be hard. Yeah, so he's 600 gold over budget. He can build towards what I assume to be Infinity Edge next.
Yeah, he's 800 gold above Fabi, and he was the highest gold in the game, but now Phoenix has caught up to him after that team fight.
Yeah.
And it's strange because when I watch Mash play, I feel like if other AD carries had the type of advantage he had, they would be pushing it more.
I agree.
And it's a strange thing because I feel like in order for Mash to turn on in a game, he needs like 1,000 gold advantage over his lane opponent.
Right, he needs to be 6-0 for that to look really exceptional, whereas like Devil, like 2-0 is already going to smash your whole team.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I tend to agree though, and you're right. Like that's what I've sort of seen with Mash. He's very good at getting resources, but he's not great at spending them, unfortunately.
He's incredibly good at getting resources. Yeah. It's really kind of mind-boggling. It's like, how does he have that much CS? How does he have that much over his lane opponent? And it's usually he's sacrificing other things like presence and like being in the right place, right time.
And absolutely. And it's the thing that one of the things I really like about League of Legends is no player is perfect, so everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. Everyone has things that they understand intuitively, things they have to learn, things that they're good at, things they're bad at. And Matt, as a player, is going to get more resources than you're going to get, but he's not quite as good at using them, which means that their output ends up being similar. It just looks less impressive.
Yeah, if you go by gold,
like damage per gold, for example.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's the lowest in that. I think he actually is.
Probably, but he's really good at earning gold. So his actual just damage. Ooh, all right, he's fine. Fabi didn't auto attack and Matt didn't deal damage, so it didn't turn into a root anyway. Mash was not able to be chased. You can see 9,000 gold for him, once again highest in the game. And the Hurricane being done, and actually I like this. He's got an early Executioner's Calling. That extra 800 gold turned into the healing reduction, so we can try to push through onto Phoenix and Dardoch, who will try to heal in these fights. We're actually seeing double Aegis out of Liquid, by the way. Dardoch actually got second item Locket after his Cinder Hulk, and we're seeing that same item come out of Matt right now.
They only have one AP threat.
And yeah, it's only Pyrion. This felt like a miscommunication now. You don't need double Locket against this team.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I'll say is that Matt and Dardoch might be on different sides of the fight, so they get, all the coverage, but it still feels weird.
I guess he's diving, he'll want his own shield, but I still feel like Matt having it is better, because he already has like the Ruby Sightstone, right? So
he's going to be around his whole team.
But it's funny because it's based off of levels of the person, right?
It's both actually. So the way Locket works is you get the best of either world. If you're the highest level in the game, you give a huge shield. If your teammate's higher, he gets his level of shield.
Yeah, I forgot that for like half a second there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, we changed that a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think Dardoch should have gone for Sterix or something second, like he typically does.
Yeah.
Or if he really wanted his Spirit Visage.
Yeah, I think Visage would make more sense as the more selfish tank item here. Mash kiting away. Gate's going to take some curtain call here, but he's a pretty durable. Tarek pops the ulti. It's going to be close! Taking a lot of damage. Flash the way to stay alive. Yeah, Gate's popping this ulti, I think, a little late, honestly. He's having to burn summoners to, not be killed before the whole thing pops. A little bit slow on the trigger.
Yeah, Cosmic Radiance is a 2-minute cooldown, even when he's level 11, so I think he's a little hesitant to use it.
Yeah, and that's with him having some CDR, by the way.
Yeah, and I feel like if you pop it, the enemy team just starts walking backwards as soon as you do that.
Sure.
But, I mean, they had to blow more summoners, so in that case, definitely should have used it. Cloud Drake is up in a minute, 15, so he won't have it back up by then, I believe.
No, he shouldn't. It's not likely for him unless they can delay this a little bit longer.
And Fabi completed his second penetration item here.
All right.
Duskblade done.
Yeah. You notice that he chose Duskblade over Maw because of the limited magic damage threat on Phoenix 1. Assuming you don't need the shield, Duskblade is better stats for you.
He's already got 2 Lockets, man.
Right, exactly, right. So, he really does not need the extra MR. But if he was, against a Vladimir or, an Elise jungler or Gragas, you would have seen him go for the different item. So keep that in mind. Any Jhin players out there, I asked Sneaky about it. He said the Pen build is just generally better. You should be trying to do that build. And as far as making the choices between the Serrated Dirk items, think about whether you need the MR or not.
It's weird because it's like this is the build that is all about killing squishies and does a lot of damage with Curtain Call and your fourth shot.
Oh, Matt gets through. Mash gets rooted. He's going to take a lot of punishment, and Dardoch is on the chase. Can't quite find the kill, but Gate is tanky. Gets penalty in, and the rocket jump forward. Mash wants in. Equalizer buys a lot of time, and they knock back Lorlo. But here's the re-engage. Zig is injured, taking a lot of punishment, and they've just completely jumped in the back line. Phoenix and Co. are doing everything they need to do. 3 gone already. Pyrion could be the 4th, getting away from the slows, but the Undertow is going to land, and he's going to go and need an Undertaker. That's 4 picked up already, and Nori running away. Got nothing else to do with this one. Liquid going to smash the base.
And Liquid with the team fighting once again takes the lead away from Phoenix 1, who had been in control for a good portion of that early game, but then the fights start breaking out and Phoenix 1 crumble. And Nori doesn't even get to use his ultimate in that fight, and they knew that Gates was still down, so they re-engaged. That's going to be an inhibitor here. Really well played, really well executed, and there's nothing Nori can do.
Nothing he could. Didn't even get to ult, sadly, so that team fight went beautifully for Liquid, getting the early catch. Fabi made it happen at the very start. That caused the whole altercation. All the damage goes in the squad, made it come through.
Leap over from Mash.
He tried the juke,
Gets
couldn't quite do it.
Now Gate has to stick around, and the flash comes over. Has to throw down the TP from Lorlo. As they re-engage, he splits them with the ultimate. Mash hits him off to the side, and Mash now has kind of focus around, but beautiful play there from both Lorlo and Phoenix. They both flash in simultaneously, one with Tides of Blood charged and the other with the Flame Spitter going. So it just looks like a gigantic burst of magic damage. And to top it off, Gate hadn't completed an Aegis of Legion by that point and still hasn't.
Still has not, yeah.
Double AP, sometimes you got to get on it faster than that.
That's the thing is basically the kind of build that Gate is going for is a scaling build. Ruby Sightstone, of course, more expensive. Face the Mountain, more expensive. Just getting an Eye Stone. But the thought is, but if I can get these items online, I have low cooldown shields. I can sometimes even get 2 off in a fight in ideal scenarios. They go long enough. What that means, there's no Aegis aura, and that's really unfortunate because, well, they can't keep this team alive in time.
I guess that's why TL bought 2. They're like, hey, you want one?
Well, but you look at what Matt's done. I actually think Matt's build is more intelligent. Actually, he stops at tier 1 of the relic shield, gets through Beside Stone, but then rushes the locket to have it in time. Like, I think that was actually the better build path for what Gate should have done.
Yeah,
here.
you work off less gold generation. You're gonna keep chain rooting Lorlo.
Save 1,200 gold. And here's the push in towards Lorlo. He's going to run out of health pretty fast, running those fast as he can. Shelly coming across. They want to turn this around, and Phoenix 1 still have the chance to do so. Root's going to come across, and that's going to stop Gate in his tracks.
I mean, Phoenix is on the bottom side of the map. If
with teleport down, actually. He either canceled or he sent himself into the bot side of the map, so this is a no mid laner Baron attempt. Phoenix 1 needs this to go well. 5 versus 4, and the team of Liquid is coming soon. Dardoch gonna get slowed down a little bit, and Nori getting hit up by everything else. Here comes Tarek to keep the team alive. They're gonna take this up pretty well, and Nori does not find much of a fear and is invulnerable, and now runs out of that one. 2 kills already picked up, and Liquid winning a 4 versus 5, and suddenly Phoenix 1 do not have any options left. They don't have any rebirth left in front of them, and it's gonna be everybody now picked up. Great and Angel popped. A couple of dance moves there for Dardoch, and that's going to be that final kill. Again, 3 in a row without Lorlo even being there. Zig's going to TP to be safe. He didn't even really need to. And now Phoenix 1 are out of this game almost.
Yeah. Immediately 5k gold advantage for Team Liquid when it hits the mid-game point. Won the last few team fights. And that was just rather greedy from P1. It ended up not being a bait completely, so they start doing the Baron. Looks like a little bit on a different page here, and then it's like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna turn, and the ultimate from Gate should already be coming out now. Like, you should be popping it really early as Tarek. Like, because look at how low everybody got, and the curtain call's on, so then you make Fabi waste shots when that happens, and then the ultimate came.
You make him either turn off the ulti or do literally nothing the whole time. And either way, you've stopped curtain call.
It's one of the whole things where it's like, for Kayle, sometimes it's better to just use the ultimate on a full health target when they're being focused.
Yeah, the second they go in.
Then anything else.
My bad. I got killed third. My bad.
It's fine.
Wait.
Complaining about kill steals, I suppose. Poor Dardoch. Many assists, only 1 kill. Even Matt has more kills than Dardoch. What a shameful Olaf performance, clearly. Just kidding.
I wonder how the minions are rotating right now.
Oh, man. Well, actually, they're running right into the base. Look at that mid lane pressure.
It's all those comparisons.
Yep. All right, well, Phoenix 1 now down several thousand gold, 6.4k.
And you can see, like, Mash, almost 100 CS up above Fabi, but Fabi's able to do a lot with the money that he has.
Yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure Fabi has more total damage dealt than Mash the champions, with literally 2/3 the minions. Here we go, attempt going in, and Ori wants to dive. This could be pretty good, a nice early ult in from Gate. This could be the fight they want. Damage on a Matt, they get 1 picked up so far. Phoenix 1 actually healthy enough to keep going, and this time around, yeah, it's gonna be what they want, but look at the burn coming back across. The snipes coming through, a double kill so far for Lorlo. Phoenix to make sure it still comes through, and that is yet again +1 kill for Liquid with a Baron buff and a 6,000 gold. Did you expect that? If only Phoenix 1 had executed that 10 minutes ago.
Exactly, and now they have Fabi up. They're gonna get this turret. They're gonna look at that mid lane. Maybe they're gonna try to end the game here, Freak. 30 seconds on the death timers. Mash is still up, but this wave clear is a huge minion wave.
2 versus 3, looking for Phoenix. He jumps away from it, and Nori's gonna run out of health way too fast. Phoenix is godlike, 7, 0, and 10. And the Vladimir Fabi chases Mash out of his own base, and now no one is left to defend the Nexus turrets. Liquid actually turning back around to knock down the bottom inhibitor.
Because the middle one, it respawned. So they actually couldn't continue their siege.
Well, they're still trying. They're going to TP Lorlo back in. He healed and recalled. He might be rejoining the squad, but Phoenix 1 have respawned and have actually taken back control of their base. Lorlo's still waiting to see if he wants to join this fight. The root comes in on towards Gate. And Phoenix won't actually keep their base alive. They've got the Pyrian flank, and this could be huge. In comes Phoenix, but he's vastly outnumbered right now. Lorlo finds the flank though onto Mash. He's gonna pop the AD carry, and Equalizer is perfectly placed alongside the rest of Phoenix 1. And they're just coming back up, batting order as it were, as they're gonna start running out of health rapidly. Zig actually gets found out. Runs away from Dardoch, taunts over the wall, but there's nothing left to stop Liquid. Onslaught of Shadows to save his KDA. 4-3 and 10 for Inori, but it's certainly not enough. Liquid complete the 2-0.